Hi, welcome to the Dragon's Cave. My name's Karen. I've got a new mould again today. This is a trinket box with a little fairy tale castle lid. Unfortunately, I can't get this inside out to paint it, but if I turn this around, you can see it's got little bows here. So I'm going to paint them with this, it's kind of a gold pink chameleon nail powder. I'm just going to paint the bows. I'm tempted to try and get in there, but I don't know how much of a mess I'll make of that. Then once that's done, I'm going to back it with a mixture of purple, sorry, brain isn't braining, interference powder mixed with a tiny bit of this light purple and probably quite a large amount of sparkle. So let's crack on with this painting. This is a nail powder that I got from Temu. The mould also came from Temu. The light purple mica powder came from a set I got from Amazon. I'll try and remember to put the link to that down in the description box. Notice I did say I try. At the moment I'm trying to get kind of ahead of myself and do, or at least film, a couple of makes at a time. And then of course when it comes to editing I forget to add the descriptions. Really should start making notes of these things. I mean, I'm videoing it and I can listen back to it, obviously, which I do when I'm editing, just to see how much of an idiot I'm making of myself. That one seems to be pretty well covered. Let's see how I can get on with working into there. Obviously I'll have to do clean up on this part. It seems to be going in quite well. I'll do the next bow, then I'll put you on pause while I finish the rest of it. Because I'm guessing you're here to see resin and not somebody just dusting a mould. Got a couple of other, I've got a load of moulds that I've never even used. So I'm banned from buying any more until I've at least used half of the ones I've got. At least once. Sorry, I'm totally out of shot there. Wasn't paying any attention at all. Yeah, until I can sort out some better storage and use some of the moulds I bought at least once. I haven't been told I can't, but I have been asked not to buy any more, at least for a short while. Husband's a bit of a pussycat really. If I want it I can have it, but I think he's getting a little frustrated with barely being able to get to the cupboards for mould. Right, so I've got another 2 bows and some more. Oh, yeah, 2 more. What's on there? Okay, so I'll finish painting that up, I'll clean it up, and I'll come back and show you when it's finished. See you in a few minutes. Bye. Hi, back. I've got my resin mixed up. This is the Resin Pro Eye Crystal, which is my current favourite. It's a lovely low viscosity resin. So first of all, I'm going to put my colours in. Just get a stick. I'm going to put quite a bit of this in. Wipe that off a second. Pop in a little bit. Oh, this light purple, I just realised I haven't opened it. Bear with me a second while I get my sharp thing to do it with. These lids are a little tight. Not the easiest thing to do with gloves on. It's the easiest way for me to do it. Probably can peel them off, but I can't. I'm just going to cut that all the way around to pull it right off. Okay. It says it's light purple, looks kind of lavender, which I suppose is the same sort of thing. Don't want to put too much of this in because I don't want it to be too purple. That should do. See how that goes. Now, every resin has its own limits as to how deep you can pour them. This particular one is intended for no more than around 1.2 centimeters, I believe, which is round about half an inch. Obviously I need to pour it a lot deeper than that. So once I've got the colour mixed in, I'm going to split it into 2 cups so that I can add this crushed glass. Now what that means for me is obviously that I can pour it much deeper, but I do have a deep pour resin. The problem with that is that I have neither the time nor the patience to wait up to 72 hours for it to set. Now the deep pour one that I have does go up to, I believe it's 4 inches, around about 10 centimeters. I have another medium depth one that goes up to, I think it's 2 inches, but again that one takes up to 72 hours to set. It's great if you're doing something clear and you need that depth, but it's kind of a standby for me for other things. Okay, that looks to be pretty well mixed. So as I said, I'm going to split this into 2 cups because I don't want it getting too hot, but also because there wouldn't be enough room in the cup to mix the stones in. Pop that one to one side while I work on this one, to make sure that there's no lumps of powder left in the cup. It seems to be pretty well mixed. Oh, I forgot the sparkle. Oops, I got really carried away there. I'm mixing too fast. I'm introducing loads of bubbles here, but I don't want to let the resin sit for too long, because if it gets too hot, it'll start setting in the cup. and then I've completely wasted all my work and a fair amount of resin. Okay, I can't see any lumps in there. Quite a few bubbles, but I can't see any lumps. Okay, let's start popping the stones in. If I get the lid off. I'm hopeful that this is actually going to be quite clear once it's wet. Just need to make sure that all the stones are completely coated and there's no extra air trapped in there. Now, there's not too much in the way of detail in here except in the hearts. Okay, I think that's about as mixed as it's going to get. Put that out of the way, get this over here. Start filling it. Okay. Now I'm going to give it a bit of a squish around the edges at the bottom to make sure there's no air bubbles trapped in there. Don't want to squeeze too hard because obviously these the crushed glass will scratch the mold if I'm not careful. Got a few bubbles up. Hopefully I've got them all, because obviously the bottom of this mold is actually the top of the finished piece, so any air bubbles at that side will be really obvious. We do this fairly slow. So that it works its way up into those bows at the side and into the little pearl type indents. So hopefully it'll go in there without, again, forming too many bubbles. Is this cup finished? Surprising amount of traffic outside today since it's Sunday. And it's still fairly early, so shouldn't think that many people will be on their way to the pub for lunch. Okay, that's cup number 1 done. I think what I'll do is I'll split this down again, half and half-ish. Obviously I need to put some more sparkle in there. Make sure all the powder is completely mixed in and there's no big lumps. Okay, so here we go again. Get this mixed in here. Just let that sit for 1 second while the bubbles rise. Just going to give this a quick spray with some isopropyl alcohol. Just going to very gently go around and poke the sides, particularly where the bows are. Okay. Right. Let's get this in here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let that sit for the bubbles to rise. Pop that over there and start on this. I'm going to pour some of the resin in first before I start getting the stones in there, because I want to again give it a good squeeze to make sure that there's no, I don't know if you can see, I hope you can see those bubbles rising from the turrets. Okay, that one didn't seem to have many bubbles. The two at the side had quite a lot. Pop a little more in there. Hold back as many of the stones as I can. Give it another good squeeze. Squish, squish. Come on, pop. The bubble did not want to pop. Okay. I think we are bubble free in there. I'll start popping the stones in now. So similar to the first piece, I'm going to let this sit a little while before I fill it right to the top. So I just want to make sure that any bubbles rise to the surface and that I can give it a little squeeze. Then I'll completely top it up. I just need to give myself a little squeezing space. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that while the bubbles rise. Once it's had a chance to degas a little, I'll top it up, and then I will see you for the demold. Bye. I'm back. I think I forgot to turn the microphone on the last section because I'm an idiot. Managed to cut my finger open on this, as you probably saw. Sorry about the blood. Plaster on now. So yeah, the little hearts along here, I'm probably going to paint those in. Not 100% sure yet. Probably silver. So let's try this again to see if I can do it. Now, in the last part, you'll have seen that the mould was actually stuck slightly to the top here, and I suspect, sorry, I suspect it actually got too hot in the mould. Entirely my fault for pouring it as deep as I did. Just going to pop some alcohol down here and attempt to do this without slicing any more fingers open. I can't actually see whether the alcohol's in there or not, so I'm going to try and do it this way. So I get my nails against the resin instead of my actual fingers. It is very, very sharp along the edges here. No surprise there. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to call in reinforcements on this one and get my husband to help, but the mould is quite stiff, unfortunately, so yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this without help. I'll get back to you once it's out of the mould. Can't do this on camera because it's just too awkward. It's not going anywhere. I really don't want to cut myself again. See you in a sec. Bye. Okay, it's 3/4 out. I wanted to get the rest of it off on camera for you if I could. So just give this a twist. Pop that out. And here we go. It took the mica really nice on there. I think the stones give it a bit of a interest, really, I suppose you'd call it. And the lid sits on there beautifully. It's a lot pinker than it shows up on camera. I would have liked to have been able to paint the detail with the same colour that I've used on here, but that's not going to be possible, unfortunately. But I do have, where are we? A metallic pink pen. So I'm going to give a go and see how well this works on here. Okay. It's not too bad. Tiny little bubble there, I think, yes. For the most part, it's pretty good in terms of bubbles. There you go. I think that's really pretty. I'll paint up the rest of the detail, get you some shots in daylight, and hopefully it'll show the colour a lot better. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Holy finger. Bye.